Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Evidently, there's two different size oil filters that go on here. A small one and a tiny one. This one had the tiny one. It was not quite hand tight. They should be hand tight. I was able to turn it off by hand. You want to make sure there's no gasket left on the mating surface where the oil filter touches the engine. If there is, remove it. Gaskets rarely get stuck on there, but occasionally they do. So you want to take your oil filter and match it up, make sure it's the same size. You use the purchase guide. This is the one from Fram 6607. There's another one that's a little bit different size. The size that Valvoline had was the 106. Anyway, I got the right size that fit. Now you want to lubricate this gasket with some oil. I actually also primed the filter as well when they're bottom mount like this. When you screw them up from the bottom, I fill them up with oil 5 or 6 times, and then I wet the gasket. That way when you start the engine, it doesn't have to fill this filter up before it starts pumping oil. I filled it up twice already and there's no evidence of oil in there, so I'm gonna fill it up another 3-4 times. Then I'm gonna screw it up there, make it hand tight. Then I'm gonna take the bolt, put a new crush washer on there, screw that on, and tighten that to about 20-22 foot-pounds. Sometimes they have it listed on there. That just stops them from leaking, so you don't drip oil in your driveway or your garage. Looks like the 3rd or 4th time was a charm. It stayed full. I always put the date and the mileage on the filter. I like when I can write them on the bottom so people can glance at them. Anyway, let me screw this up there, get it hand tight, get that drain bolt installed, and fill the engine up with oil. I think it takes about 4.5 quarts. The oil fill hole is so small, I do recommend using a funnel. I got 5 quarts of this oil. Extended Performance, man, they claim this stuff is 20,000 miles oil changes. So vehicle recommends 7,500. This is 20,000 mile oil. I would recommend doing a 10,000 mile oil change, sending the sample into the lab to see if it still is good. Then maybe doing a 15,000 mile oil change, sending it to the lab to check it again, see if it's still good before you hit 20,000 miles. Extend this oil change if you want, but I recommend lab tests just in case the engine doesn't agree with the oil manufacturer. Pour about a quart in, look under the car, make sure nothing's leaking, and then pour 4.5 quarts or 4 quarts in, check under the car, make sure nothing's leaking. Take your funnel out, put a rag under it, catch any oil drippings, then start the car, back it off the ramps, or if you got it jacked up, get it off the jacks, let it idle for 5 minutes, shut it off, let it sit for 5 minutes, then check the oil level with the dipstick. If it needs a little more oil, add a little more. If not, then don't add any more. And keep whatever oil you have left over in your garage or somewhere where you could top it off if need be, if it uses any oil later on. Yes, made it down to the VA Medical Center. Cover your eyes. Put me on a heart monitor. Guess they need some data. Anyway, headed back home, gotta work on the ETM, pack my bags and get out of here, and go from there. Let's get rolling. Well, somebody should be coming to pick up Queen Bee soon. Made arrangements for Queen Bee to have a new owner. I need to, get stuff out of here that don't need to go, leave stuff with it that need to go with it. Several things I wanted to do, couldn't finish up on, but it's time for me to get out of town, so I need to pack this car out, get it out of here. Let me empty it out of all of my contents, put the parts in here that needs to go with it, and give it one last hug. Queen Bee, leaving the herd. 249, 736. Here we are, folks. I'm about to resume my short trip that I started in January. Headed back out to Vegas. See you soon. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.